AJ,
Yo,
the movie.
the movie.
All right, great. We're on the same page. Welcome, one and all, in extraterrestrial beings, beings of planet Earth, mole men. Welcome to the Inner Circle, the show where we talk about movies. Clearly, not new movies for the most parts. Whatever we want, we talk about anything. No one can stop us. This week we watched The Little Things. Um, I don't have much to say on this, so I'm hoping you got something. So tradition,
Well,
my
uh,
co-host will go first.
all right. The Little Things is the latest film to be released by Warner Brothers on HBO Max, same day as theaters. To any of you that are subscribed to HBO Max, I recently just got a 6-month subscription, which I am really enjoying. Um, but The Little Things, not a lot of fun to be had there. Yeah, okay. So I guess we should start by saying The Little Things is a Denzel Washington movie, which also stars Rami Malek, and they both turn in pretty decent performances. Like you'd expect them both to be good, and they are. It's just they find themselves in a very boring, generic, uh, like crime thriller.
Yes, okay. Everything you said, 120% true. Um, and I'm glad that you specified Denzel and Rami Malek have okay performances. I'm glad that those are the only two you specified because Jared Leto was he was not in the same movie as these two men. He was
No,
on another planet playing. He's playing that one grimy alien from Men in Black. I'll put the clip here because I remember which one I'm talking about.
Put your hands on your head. I'll put my hands on, on my head. Like this?
He's playing that nasty dude, and it was really frustrating to watch because my gosh, was it just so on the nose.
wait, are you comparing him to the cockroach guy from the first Men in Black?
Yes, yes, the cockroach man.
Okay, that's really funny. I see it now.
That's what I saw this whole thing. Just warning you off the bat. I don't care about spoilers. I'm about to just go into it. Yeah, he was
Spoiler
playing.
alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. He was playing the cockroach man, and I don't understand why this movie wants to try and play with the whole idea of did he do it, did he not? Are they too involved in the case? Blah blah blah. Generic detective movie nonsense, but we're gonna ham it up because we're going for award bait just by the aesthetic of the whole film, the way it's presented. It just didn't work at all.
Well, here's the thing about Jared Leto's performance, and a lot of his performances. There are roles that fit him very well, but he tends to be typecast, especially now after playing the Joker in Suicide Squad. And he hasn't really separated himself from that role yet because he's still trying to channel that same energy in this movie. And he's supposed to be like mentally unstable, but he kind of overdoes it.
He
It
doesn't
like
come off
if
as
you're
mentally
trying to
unstable.
play like a psychopath, like the scary thing, the believable thing to do is to make them appear like they're normal, like an everyday person, but obviously allude to the fact that they're not all there. Um,
Yeah.
he's not a normal person by any stretch of the word.
Yeah, so in the he's this dirty, sleazy guy who doesn't come off as any kind of crazy. He comes off like he knows what he's doing and he's just like he's okay being the cockroach man. And he like has the funny cockroach man walk and he tries to be intimidating and it just doesn't work. Something's not clicking with me this whole time. Um it's just I don't know, man.
I mean, I think that probably the best thing that this movie has going for it is the whole arc with Rami Malek. His arc is great. You know, he has He's a young police detective. He's very dedicated to his job. He wants to catch the bad guy. And he gets pushed to the edge of desperation, and he makes a mistake that costs him, or could cost him everything. And then Denzel kind of like wipes it away and makes everything okay. But you're still sitting at the end like, oh, Rami Malek is going to be carrying the weight of his decisions for the rest of his life. That hit me pretty hard. I was like, okay, that's well done. But
Really?
with Denzel Washington, like, it was really awkward because I didn't understand his motivation behind why he's so dedicated to this case until the very end of the movie. It's supposed to be like this big reveal, but the way that they sort of foreshadow it, you know, they reveal the fact that he has 2 daughters that he doesn't talk to. They reveal that he has an ex-wife, and all of the friends of his from the department don't really trust him anymore. And there are these scenes where he's like daydreaming, and he sees like all of these half-naked women who have been murdered. And you're sort of almost like, at least it felt to me like you're meant to believe that he had like an affair with these women. So it ruined his marriage, number 1, and number 2, like he feels like he owes them.
I
That's how
didn't
it
get that feeling at all.
I mean, that's how it came off to me. But then again, I didn't know where the movie was going until the very, very end.
So, okay, so I kind of understood the whole thing of he accidentally kills one of the girls because by that point he's so jumpy and way too personally into trying to find this killer of these other women. And so it leads to him accidentally killing a girl, and he feels really guilty about that. So even though he's off the case and in another county, he wants to help the new detective catch the guy, probably so he can try and wash away the guilt of what he accidentally did, which is fine and all. It's really generic the way everything's presented in the movie. And I couldn't care because everything is presented to the audience. If it's not outright told, everything's presented in a very flat, like, let's just get it done kind of way. Like, the movie feels like it knows it's a generic detective story. So the moment Rami Malek kills the guy, and I'm like, oh, okay, so now we're obviously paralleling the detectives. I just couldn't care.
Like, I understood what they were going for, but the fact that like these characters don't really have any chemistry with one another,
and the whole movie, every scene between the leads or any other character, everything feels so snappy, like we're trying to get to the end. The editing is the editing's very quick. Like, people will be exposition talking to each other, and the moment the line is finished, it's an instant cut to the next shot. And I'm like, okay, we're just barreling through this anyway. So like, why should I care?
well, also, like, you know, I hate to be that guy who brings up the basic structure of a narrative when in a review, but I feel like I have to, because the whole point of telling a story is that you have a protagonist who starts the story at one point, and over the course of the conflict has to arrive at a complete different point. They have to change. Denzel Washington, who is obviously the main character of this movie, starts at point A and ends up at point A. Nothing changes for him.
All that happens is he brings down our second lead. He brings him down to the same level as him, and then that's kind of it. And I get what they're trying to like do with that, but it just feels flat. Like,
yeah,
I don't
it feels very
really
flat.
Like, by the end I was like, okay, but what was the point? Like,
yeah,
it's and we're talking down on the movie a ton, but like, if you're like, I know like someone like my father, he likes a good crime story. He'd like the movie, like, because it's good on a very like 50% flat level.
I mean, hey, if you like thrillers and detective stories, you're gonna like this movie. It gives you exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And also, like, it's very good. It's like pretty to look at. Like, the cinematography is great, the lighting is good. It's all very competently done. It's just, I think the story is really where everything kind of crumbles.
Yeah, I think this movie, is very lucky that theaters are dead and it did get dumped straight to HBO Max, because it's gotten more attention this way than I think it would have gotten without it. Because the way it was hyped up as a part of all like the year of Warner Brother movies coming straight to HBO, and I saw like Denzel Washington, Creepface Leto, and Freddie Mercury. I'm like, okay, wow, that's a pretty good cast. That movie might be good. It's not. It's very plain, very average. I went in with expectations I maybe shouldn't have had, but yeah, it was a
I also kind of went in with higher expectations. But also, since you brought up the whole theaters being dead thing, I really don't want theaters to die. I was one of the people that got super excited when I heard about how people on Reddit were buying up AMC stock, and now AMC is kind of coming back from the dead. I was really happy about that. And there's a lot of movies that Warner Brothers is releasing same day on HBO Max that I am definitely going to go see in a theater. Kong versus Godzilla, absolutely seeing that in a theater. Which that should be our next inner circle, or at least in the recent in coming days.
It'll be up. It'll be coming. We'll definitely do Kong versus Godzilla.
We got to do the original, and then we got to do the new one.
We'll absolutely do it, because while I was at a certain point in this movie, about halfway through, when we were doing it was like every other scene was, we're going to tell them. And then it's like, we're back in the lab and we're going to tell them again. Like, it was a good 5 scenes in a row where it was just the back and forth of that. My brain started thinking of what else is coming out soon, which is never a good sign when I'm watching a movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are movies that I'm excited for, obviously Kong versus Godzilla. Really excited for Mortal Kombat, even though it's probably going to be bad. I don't care. I'm getting another Mortal Kombat movie. And then The Matrix 4, I mean, I have to see what they're doing with that.
There's that CG Ghibli movie coming out that's out this weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
That missed me.
Oh no, a cameo. Wait.
It's the dog. It's the dog.
The dog, yes. So as
Here,
you can see.
Come on, Rigby.
Rigby.
Hey, buddy.
God, I love Rigby. So as you can see, this is how much we enjoyed watching The Little Things. It was very, very flat. I would recommend it if you just like watching detective movies like I do. Because on that surface level, it's fine. It's an okay watch. Denzel's performance is a little weird. He kind of does the dead inside thing, but sometimes in moments where I'm like, should you be dead inside right now? Like in some of the flashbacks that take place before he killed the girl, he still did the dead inside thing. It was very odd.
I mean, Denzel, that's kind of like his thing now. Like ever since I want to say The Book of Eli, he's been playing characters that are like they carry like this deep coldness inside them.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't been keeping up with Denzel's recent career, so I did not know that.
Well, Book of Eli is very good. I love.
Oh no, I love Book of Eli. I just mean after that, I had no clue that this is like just his thing now. This is his archetype.
Well, it's like the Equalizer 1 and 2, Flight. They're all Denzel Washington being very cold and isolated emotionally.
So is anything because I don't want to keep this going forever, but was anything about Rami Malek's performance weird to you? He felt off to me.
I mean, I believed him at first because he came off very professional, like he knew what he was doing, very dedicated detective, like I already said. By the time you get to the end is when he starts to lose it a little bit. He starts making questionable decisions that don't really make any sense. While his arc is good, he does make dumb decisions. So I kind of see what you're saying.
Okay, because when as I was watching this movie, throughout the whole thing, it don't matter what the role is. He's a great actor. Like he's showing what emotions that look 100% genuine. The man's like borderline crying at moments, and I 100% believe it. But the whole time, I think this might be an issue with me. The whole time, every scene, he would talk, and I'm like, that accent is weird, and I'm like, I can't see Rami Malek anymore. I only see half of Freddie Mercury and half of whatever role he's in, and so everything I've seen him in since Bohemian Rhapsody has felt off to me. And it made it, a lot of it had to do with his accent in this movie. It just because it felt strange.
I mean, it didn't really bother me. At this point, like I've seen Rami Malek do a lot of different roles where I know that he's capable of, being diverse and getting out of his comfort zone. He's a very what's the word? I can't think of the word, but he's a very applicable, I'll say applicable actor. Like he can do almost any role, in my opinion. So.
But yeah, so a lot of things about this movie as a whole just felt very off to me because, like you said, it's like it's shot really well, and it's made by obviously competent professionals, and all the actors in it are like objectively good. Like they're not bad, but it was strange seeing this level of talent put into a very normal detective story that by the end I feel like wanted to be a little bit deeper than it is.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so like this is a strange one. Straight to streaming definitely helped it.
Yeah, this is definitely a movie I would say watch on stream. Don't go to the theater for this.
Yeah, I would not pay like my, $20 total, theater entry fee to watch this one.
So how would you rate it? What's your rating?
Well, I'd give it about probably 5 dead girls out of 10.
It's kind of morbid, but okay.
You gotta keep it relevant to the plot,
I'd give it probably. I'd give it a little more than that. I'd give it 6 dead girls out of 10.
All right, 6 dead women out of 10. You heard it here first from AJ.
Don't quote me on that, man. That's so morbid.
So, yeah, this is gonna be a quick one, because I feel like that's all I have to say. Is that all you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, we basically summed it up pretty well, I think.
All right. Well, at least we had a special intro on this one. Hopefully the camera recorded me doing that. That was The Little Things, ladies and gentlemen.
See you next time.
I don't know what we're talking about next time, but it's definitely going to be something. All right.
It'll probably be weird. See you guys.